First I want to tell you about the Soviet biological weapons program as a case study. And then the program that was called Ferment, so that was involved with gain of function in its time. There are two generations to the Soviet biological weapons program. First generation was one that used classical applied microbiology techniques, mutation selection, propagation, to weaponize this list of agents, including botulinum toxin, which is a chemical, and that was kind of dropped and it became, after this time, became part of the chemical weapons program. So the second generation program was codenamed Ferment. There was actually two parts to the second generation program. Ferment, which was objective was to develop weapons that would kill or hurt human beings. And the second part was called ecology, and that was to develop weapons that hurt or killed animals and or crops. So as you can see, the objective was to utilize genetic engineering to endow known pathogens with unique properties. This was a huge enterprise. There were, I'm going to talk about some of the institutes, but it probably employed something like 60,000 people, and it did the world's most sophisticated large-scale use ever. And you can see here that the institutes were all over the place. Vector in Novosibirsk, Stepnogorsk was a production plant, and then a lot of these institutes, some were right around Moscow, and one in Moldova, and so on. I should mention that in 2003 and 2004, I was a manager for 3 projects in former Soviet biological weapons plants. This Pokrov Institute, it's part of the biopreparat system. It was a production plant, and it still exists. Now, Vector, one of the biopreparat that was in Novosibirsk, still works with influenza virus, and when they do produce vaccines, they do it at this place. Talking about dual use. We've seen this before. Recent gain of function research has to do focus on pathogens, MERS, SARS, etc. And the objective is to increase the ability of pathogens to cause disease by enhancing their pathogenicity or increasing the transmissibility. Most yesterday was talking about transmissibility. So, okay, now the short description of the Ferment. Objective was to enhance pathogens' abilities for infection and virulence, endow them with new capabilities. And these were top secret, of course, and the intent was purely malevolent. Now, with 2004, with gain of function, difference, of course, is they're completely open, transparent, and the intent, ultimately, even right now you're talking about transmissibility, the ultimate benefit is to help biomedicine and public health. But the comparison, as you can see, is they're very similar. The Soviets did have some accidents, but actually very few accidents in their biological weapons program. They had one person die of Marburg. They weaponized Marburg, not Ebola, but they never did they weren't able to do any genetic engineering with the hemorrhagic fever viruses, probably for the reasons I already told you.